still the hovers here, but remember, just because it looks like Tryndamere is mid right now, it's very likely Chovy to be playing it on the top side of the map. And Quid, of course, will be walking to the mid lane. Everything else, you know, here for Gen G.
Absolutely. Well, we're hopping onto the Rift for game number 1 of T1 versus Gen G, the match of the week.
Starting the Sheen means not going to have the Axe as early, but that is totally fine. It's normally the Axe we see waited for, but Ruler early back here is Zeus. Very good on the Gragas, 5-0. Very good pick for him. It's also rising back up slowly here in the LCK, as it's been 736 days, it says here.
He has a win on Quinn. Gen G, former Samsung, and Damwon as well.
Yep.
Won them, so they are the big 3 of Korea.
And even though all 3 teams have renamed, you know, Damwon Gaming, you know, into Damwon Kia, SKT into T1, and then of course Samsung has been acquired. Samsung requested part of the deal for the acquisition was the history stays, and so
yeah,
it does. As a big trade here to try to force this Rift Herald to be mute, but it will crash.
Oh boy. That's a big one right there. Importantly, Faker did not pick up any of the plate goals, along with Yuumi and a jungler that works perfectly with it. Like, doesn't really get much better than that. Gragas being an A-tier top laner as well. They're even going to be able to siege this turret. Their siege is already their siege is already insane.
Yeah,
right?
their siege is so good, and they have a package, so there's just nothing Gen G could do. Like, even walking through this choke point right now is an insane choice to make. It's almost suicidal here with Faker holding the package, and look at where Faker's positioned right now. You can't punish him. Here he goes!
Here he goes, and Laspa, he is the unlucky one. First blood going to be handed over to the Corki of all people. Make that 2. Faker going to pick up 2 of them, as Keria will get another one. And Gen G, as you mentioned, they just get immediately crushed there in that choke. It really feels bad. I mean, taking a look here at the mid-gold gap, it was about 2,000 as Gumayusi will take a bunch of damage. Ruler trying to get it done, but fantastic engage once again right on top of Ruler. As Zeus going pretty deep though, Ruler able to kite it out, and down will go the Gragas. T1 going a little bit too far on this one, as now Chovy has entered the fight. Finally, he procs that ultimate, and the 2 guys under the turret immediately go down. Gen G immediately strike back.
Gen G is back in the game.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Ruler and also listening.
봐줄래?
Cover me.
Cover me, please.
잡았어.
Got him.
천천히 빼면서 봐. 끝.
I don't know what he said. I don't know what.
Dude, I just looked at each other like, what?
I don't know. With this mask on, it's hard for us, man.
He talks so fast.
Yeah.
Ruler has a lot to say. Can use that pretty well. There's no classical tank on the side of Gen G. On the flip side.
Quid gets caught here by the Yuumi ult. Man, it's a easy follow-up for Owner. That was as simple as it gets. Those are the ways that Gen G have to try to finagle their way through this game.
Chovy, he really does not care. In the face of the exhaust and everything, even the Yuumi, he's going to be able to get in there, and Keria goes down too. Quid able to pick up both kills, and now Zeus is like, wait, where did my team go? As he's not in a good spot either. He's going to be rooted down and taken out. Gen G able to find them in a bad spot once again, and will head towards the Baron.
T1's composition is like a giant, like fully completed Power Rangers robot, you know, like it's like Zoids. Yeah. And if you only fight the leg as Gen G, you can take it out. If you only fight the body or only fight the head, as we're seeing these small picks come through, you can absolutely take those exchanges. As Owner alone here is trying to buy some time so that Chovy, or rather so Faker can come in here, but I do not see this working out.
He has a package, but
he goes for it.
He actually went in there. Yeah, very questionable. He is able to pick up the 1 kill. He's trying to set it up for Owner, who's going to take a huge amount of damage. Guma and Keria also here trying to get the cleanup that these 3 champions are so good at. As the damage is there, Ruler's going in for more, but the blast plan is going to help him, but he's still going 1v3. He's going to be able to take out 1, but loses to the other 2. As perhaps a little bit greedy there, he will lose his Baron buff.
No, this Chovy is already back on the case. When Demolition is going to be able to get a ton of extra damage done with the Baron buff he still holds.
Skirmishes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was a good decision as well. as T1 are setting up here. The whole Zoid package is together. 2 legs, 2 arms, the head. Everything is here. Now, can they win a team fight in this manner? I think that Faker has hit his 2-item power spike here, as Chovy is wrapping around, looking for the flank. They have a ward to spot him now. As you can see, they're absolutely taking that Tryndamere seriously with how much he has done in this game already.
Yeah, the positioning here from Faker is also good because he can get over this wall. And Chovy, you know, it can follow him, but does not want to pop his ult until he has a target he knows that Syndra can help collapse on and they can look for a kill. And because Quid and Chovy are so far away from each other, it's very difficult.
Over the wall he goes. Chovy looking to clear the pit, and he will. Lostba, though, goes in alone, and he will be burst down. Really going to pop that ultimate, looking to take the team fight. In goes T1, but immediately has to flash away. Ruler already getting so much done on this champion of Zeri. Worst case scenario, we lose a Mountain Drake, but my team is in a great spot anyway.
This is the lead that Gen G can afford with this Mountain Soul Point, which is why Soul Point is something we talk about all the time. It's not the soul, but the ability to just ignore a fight, slow it down.
Oh man, Quid is lining these up, but he's actually going to bait Youngjae in a little bit. I don't think Youngjae should have committed to that, as we do have a flash now out of the Gen G jungler, and in goes Faker. He tries to Valkyrie out, and he immediately gets taken down. Owner's looking for the resets, but he's not able to get the kill onto Lostba either. And it's all falling apart here for T1. Gen G Ruler is getting in there and taking names now on low health. He's able to secure a kill as well, and Chovy the entire time was taking the inhibitor.
Oh man, and this is the night to remember Gen G is looking for, right? Winning against all odds against this draft with these substitute players. He's looking for a solo kill here.
They want to end the game.
They want to end the game, and I think they very well can. There's a few minions here. He's got Demolition.
The cannon minion just got knocked with the cask. That's a fantastic move by Zeus. Otherwise, as T1, they're going to just go for the Baron. They say, well, you're on a back right now. You're going for some buys. We're going to try to burst down this Baron. Chovy is going to be the first one to see this happening, as Ruler is in position. No flash for him, though. As T1, I think they should be able to get this Baron, but can they get out is the question. As they're on the run, in goes Chovy, and everybody comes in. The kick on the Zeus is decent, but it is a tank Gragas as they're turning this one around. The Corki and the Ezreal are doing the damage. Guma already with a couple of kills under his belt. And T1 pick up the Baron, ends 2 kills. Yeah, and Siege with this comp, as we already talked about, is insane. So they have the Baron, which makes it doubly insane. Zeus, again, he's just got to answer the call and see if he can stop Chovy. But again, he can't deal with the cannon minion, and there's another one. So this turret is going to go down. Chovy will take it out. As you see, Gumel was able to pick up the bounty for his team. And here's Faker. Hello. He's coming on in. And keep in mind that Chovy is a Tryndamere. He's trying to get those crits down, and he is just going to take his life just like that. Chovy doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, I think that's a miscalculation of Chovy having flash or not. Because if he has flash, he always follows you over the wall there. And look how many resources are spent to kill him. He still gets a kill onto Faker, removes the Corki from the map, and also stops this Baron.
They were confident to just chase him down. Chovy just going head first into 3 people under turrets and stuff.
And guess what?
Exactly how to play this.
Clock hits 0. Gen G is on the Drake first. They controlled the vision. They controlled this part of the map. T1 had to drop all these control wards, try to fight their way towards the pit. And you have to deal with Chovy. Like, he can end the game if you commit. And as T1, if you back off, you give the Elder. It's a lose-lose situation here. And you're going to need more than just a Gragas to stop Chovy, or he will kill your Nexus.
Yeah, and it's got to be Faker with the package to respond. And that means that the Elder's probably gone, right? So now Chovy, he's going to get low. He will probably die. He's trying to get on top of Faker, and that's a really nice body slam. So they should be able to take him out. But take a look at this Elder. It's taken them a while, though. Gen G have not put enough damage into this, and now Chovy, perhaps he overstepped his bounds here, as it's 5v4. Faker and Zeus are back into this fight. The poke is coming through, but Ruler, he's got a good position. He's quite tanky himself. The ult is popped. As now they're trying to collapse here onto Owner. They want to take him out before this Drake gets low, but it's actually Gen G who has really low health bars at this point in time. Faker hits a huge big one into the back line.
You got to walk away as Gen G here. You got to get out of here. You're going to have to give it.
They're just going to have to give it, and that feels so bad for Gen G, but here come T1. They have fantastic chase with this Ezreal with the Yuumi, and take a look at that. They're able to take down 2 of them. As now you can see Ruler, he's trying to get in and stop the waves and try to stop this game from ending.
He has to stop them from pushing through. There's still inhibitors up. There's still full health inhibitor turrets. So T1 will not be able to just finish off those kills and end the game.
But even just the threat of the package can sometimes be enough.
They get Gen G pushed back here. Gen G no longer have Drake Cryo.
Okay. Well, Quid barely exists anymore. That was one big one that is coming in. They're mostly dodging the rest of them, but there's also barrels. There's the cask available here for Zeus. As we see the wraparound here from the Lee Sin, from Youngjae, the poke is coming in. Quid is trying to do his best to have an effect as there's the kick. They get on top of Gumayusi and he goes down. No more Ezreal in this fight, but Faker is kiting it out perfectly, and he put the package down so that his team could kite and get away from this.
Ruler's still alive, though. I don't know if you've got a prayer here, T1. Ruler's on the chase. This is going to be so difficult. Now, Faker's still alive, as you mentioned. He still has his res available. Oh, this is so tense.
This fight.
Reset.
It's not over. You can see that Ruler now. He's backing away, but he's got full health. He's got a shield. Well, that shield is gone now. So you can see that T1 is very much confident to continue hitting this Elder.
T1 saying, come at me, come to me. Youngjae, you don't have that kick anymore. It's coming up in just a few seconds, but it's not ready yet. Now it's up. This is their last chance.
And this is a 4v4 right now. We're just trying to get Youngjae into the pit and trying to get this down. The Elder Drake is going low. Who's going to pick up the flip? Owner goes extremely low, and it's Faker who picks up the Elder and probably will get the win in this fight because of it. Ruler is desperately trying to kite, but he will not be able to by the end. And finally, T1 have seemingly won this game.
It's over now. It all came down to that final Elder. We talk a lot about how we're going extreme late game. Every game of the LCK with the Corki ends up going to Elder. I wouldn't necessarily call this one a flip, though. It was just a chaotic battle as T1 will close out this first game. But damn, did Gen G give us a show. With this composition, we looked at that draft. I think most people think there's no chance, there's no way. But they made it damn close. And if we're going to see 3 games of this, sign me up.
Oh, yeah. Give me more of this. Nexus goes down, GG, T1. But I have to say that Quid, Youngjae, and Lospa had some pretty solid gameplay as well. Like, they didn't drop the ball or anything like that, and they were part of the reason why we got to this moment in time.
Lospa had some really great punishes. That punish on Faker, especially when he went for that all-in, was really awesome to see. My biggest...
in, and you'd have to imagine that is going to the top lane in the hands of Chovy. Now, we've seen top Victor in other metas, but I don't think that's what we're going to see in this one.
Doesn't look like it, especially considering, like, if it wasn't Quid in this lineup and it was Doran, I would be feeling like, okay, it's probably going to be mid Yasuo, and it's going to be as your screen kind of shows you, with Doran playing the Victor, but...
It looks like we're just about ready for game number 2. Hopping onto the Rift here, once again, T1 versus Gen G, same sides.
About how he trades towards Zeus if he messes these up.
Man. This is dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Youngjae is already down here in the bottom lane. The flash, flag, and drag as Gumayusi gets over the little wall, but they have exhaust. And that should be enough damage as they hand the kill over to the Yuumi.
And critically, though, yeah, that was definitely an error there, but critically, it's the AD carry who dies, not the Lulu, so it's pretty unfortunate. As Youngjae is hovering this lane, but Owner is here unbeknownst to Gen G. They know now.
Oh, but Youngjae could try to counter gank this one. Chovy playing it scared, but Youngjae and Chovy don't want any piece of this. They do not want to fight against Meganar and Xin Zhao at level 5, okay? As he hits level 6 now, and Chovy's in a really unfortunate spot here. He will be the sacrifice and hand it over to Owner on the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, and he's just not even going to flash. He knows he's dead. And I think that plate gold is up.
Here we go. No flash available. Right into the open, loving arms of the Xin Zhao. Easiest kill you've ever seen.
I mean, you called it. We talk about it so much. Or not in range to get shuffle ulted as Chovy.
Oh boy. This is not going well for him, is it? He's looking for a knock-up now as he will hit Quid, but the Sun comes in at the same time. And by Quid, I mean Owner, of course.
That was
he's actually going to be able to get away just for a moment. Zeus will hit him with the house. Again, not going to be fun to try to block that one.
Yeah, no, he flashes it here. Can they actually, maybe they wanted to wait and get the charge on the inner. I'm surprised they drop it here. It is going to be a lot of control, and it will remove Chovy's turret, so he is just going to be a sitting duck. But could have given money to Zeri instead on the bottom side, but it's just too tempting of an offer to refuse here for Zeus, or rather for Owner, considering Zeus' control over the wave of the lane.
This game is out of control.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is the kind of game we expected in this series.
Nice little 2v2 on the bottom side. Zeri getting a lot of damage done. Wild Growth here onto Keria. He's barely going to go down. As you see that Yuumi picks up the kill with the Ignite. Yeah, and now with red buff that Zeus was very nicely able to pick up. He is harassing so annoyingly against this Yasuo. Yasuo, of course, he loves to all in and poke, but not so much against Zeus with red buff. As Owner's here. Owner's here again. Now it's 3v2 as Zeus just says, leave me to die, and Owner says, thankfully. He is not going to be helping out with that one.
The Ignite will tick through despite the block there on the call.
It's just not a good feel for him as T1, they're just pushing down the mid lane. They're like, yeah, sure. You want to fight? We can fight if you'd like to. I'm not sure about that. Faker goes very far deep by himself as now it looks like Gen G is going to get that knockup onto Owner as T1 maybe having a little bit too much fun. Gumayusi, though, is still alive, and the flash fails. So Guma going to pick up that free kill for himself. Zeus is also getting a lot of work done. Not really a clean fight, but T1's still come out ahead.
And, you know, in these upcoming fights around the Baron, is there any way you lock this guy down? I don't think so.
Turn here. Very aggressive. He doesn't have his flash, but he has teammates.
He has Wild Growth.
Yeah, he's got Lulu. The damage comes through, but you know, if anyone else is there, it's a risky trade to take. But I guess with the lead that they have, it doesn't quite matter. He's able to trade 1-for-1. It's now Quid gets slowed up by the red buff, but with Ruler and Lost. But there available are Chovy himself and Young Jay.
Yeah,
and it's not an easy trade. As we're looking at this trade, the Chaos Storm is getting a lot of value here. Zeus is just fighting in it, doesn't seem to care. As now it's done, and Zeus says, well, I actually got to get out of here. Tries to hop the wall, has the blast plant. The flash over the wall comes in from Quid, and Quid will get the solo kill.
All right. See, these are the errors, right? Now Faker's caught. No flash.
Ooh, no shuffle either. Chovy's like, I wish I could join this fight, but will be able to eventually as the Zhonya's will be used. Faker will go down.
You give that one over to Chovy. Some desperately needed gold. Do like how things are starting to look here for Gen G. Now with T1 having these players down, these critical team fighters, they can't actually realistically contest this Drake. Now, Guma's like, I'm Zeri though, so if your health bars get really low, maybe we can.
And this is so early on. I mean, they have teleport and R in 10 seconds. Like, they might get this Baron, maybe. But then they have to fight.
Yeah, I think you have to back off here because you have no way to get on top of this Zeri. You just got to get out, but they feel so desperate.
They're trying to take a fight against Keria. That's a lot used to get on top of the Lulu, and now here comes Zeus, who is incredibly fed again. He doesn't have a bar of any sort, but Gumayusi's right there. He's looking for the flank. He goes over the wall. He's really committing to this one now. As in goes Zeus. The flash in from Owner is going to select Quid as his target. And they will be able to at least get the victor. Everybody else does get out alive, but again...
Like, if it's a lot of different 80 carries in this position, you feel good about it, but it's Zeri. She's over the wall and she can get in. As Gen G now just have to look for the steal.
Young Jay is here, and he has a smite and a blast plant. See if they can get on top of him here, as he is going to get into the pin, immediately dies. Crescent guard as well, helping out on that one, as kind of baits in his teammates as well. Gumayusi will get exhausted and not able to kill.
But this game is the kind of drafting and shenanigans we expected considering the scenario, and I guess we got both sides of this series. As Chovy follows.
He's going to get the ult here as well. Young Jay gets absolutely demolished on his way there. Even had a Yuumi as well. Not quite going to work out. Owner now with the Crescent Guard is happy to go into the two of these guys, except now he's taking a little bit too much damage with that Chaos Storm. Quid standing up to him, as now we've just gone full Fiesta here. As fights all over the map are happening. Teleport in the mid lane as T1 look to end this game.
They look to do exactly that. It's a very clean, like you said, kind of a one and done counter gank on the top side. The whole comp falls apart. The Yuumi Lucian lane also fell behind early, and it's just that simple here for T1 as they could push wave after wave. Now, first into the inhibitors, now into the Nexus turrets.
Not going to end it.
It's like everything else is pretty good, but...
Okay, Ruler's trying to make a play. This is what they got to do. I mean, this comp can make plays. Unfortunately, they are a bit behind as Toby is just going to get immediately shreked.
Just
That's
no
going to
combo.
be the Zeri who locks down Youngjae as well. T1 going to be pushing in for the 2-0 victory tonight. Quid has to flash away. And Owner is looking to close this one out with potentially some help this time. Faker sweeps him up for another kill under his belt. They also get Quid. And that's going to be T1 now 8-0 in the LCK. Congratulations to them. Only one more to go before they win the entire round. And yeah, I mean, this tells the story of this game. Quid did a lot of damage because he was aggressively trading a lot of times where Zaves was like, yeah, sure, let's fight. No reason not to.